Can you take me, because we haven't discussed this, can you take me to the phone call when you knew that this deal was going to happen and just what that moment was like for you?
Yeah. So I had just landed in Boston. I had gotten off a plane from Kansas City, where obviously I was celebrating you guys, and I got in the car with my dad at exactly 6 p.m. Eastern time, which is when all the free agency fiasco starts. At this point, I was feeling pretty confident that there would be a deal. I also thought in my head of like, what if my flight got delayed and then I was like in the air at the start of free agency and like, I missed some call and they like went a different direction and my entire life is changed because of course it would be American Airlines that held me back. Anyways, I'm driving in the car and I still think it's just so crazy how Woj bombs, Shams bombs, they just start firing off right at 6:01. And I think the first one to break was like the Lonzo, and then the dominoes just start to go. And at that point, a little ways in, I get a call, or actually I get a text from a Heat front office member sharing an Instagram login with me. And it was like they had made me my own Instagram account. And I logged into the Instagram account after some technical difficulties. I will say maybe that's a story for another time. But the point being is that eventually I got in and they had basically created an Instagram account for me and it had all these pictures posted on the profile that were kind of about my time in Miami and that they'd love to have me back and all this sort of stuff. And that was a cool moment. And then shortly after I heard from Spo FaceTimed me and we were going back and forth and there was a funny moment of that too. He's like, oh yeah, so what are you doing tonight to celebrate? And I'm just like, we're gonna pick up some food and just kind of hang and eat. And he's like, all right, well, do me a favor, like mix in an ice cream or like get a bottle of wine or something. He's like, did Jason's my age. He's like, did Jason like tell you the numbers? Like, do you know how much you're now making? Like, you should go celebrate. I was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna, we're gonna head over to my sister's house and just eat some to-go Mexican food. So it was a pretty understated evening, but I will say like the crazy thing is that usually when I get all these texts after a game, I get to my phone probably like 45 minutes after the game's over. So all the texts are already in there. At that moment, as soon as it released, obviously once everybody saw it, they just like go to text me. So at that point, it was the first time really in my life that I have my phone on me and my phone is just going crazy. Like I just put it down. I was just like, I can't even get wrapped up in this. Not to like, once again, I'm so popular, but like we were getting up there in the hundreds of text messages. And at a certain point I was just so grateful, but I was also like a little bit overwhelmed. So, and then once again, like there's also this weird feeling of it doesn't quite hit you. And truth be told, like it hasn't quite hit me. I'm still wondering as to when it will. Because as of right now, my life really has not changed at all other than like people just now know how much money I make very publicly or am going to make because I haven't made any of it yet. But yeah, we'll see how that all plays out. I'll keep you posted on a future episode.